a week.
Yeah, you've got, it's 429.
Yeah. Need more. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Needham, Councilman Bills, Supervisor Bunyan,
Here.
Councilman Brown, here, Councilman Galusha.
Here.
The purpose of this meeting is to allocate our ARPA funds. I put together a packet with some of the quotes that I was able to get. The very first one's a resolution authorizing the obligation and funding of the cost of an ADA compliant door and ramp. So does anyone want to bring that to the floor?
Just for people watching, just so we can be clear, we're doing this because the ARPA funding has to be committed by December 31st of this year.
Yep.
And we have to spend it by when?
December of 2026.
Okay, so we have 2 years to actually spend the money.
Yep.
Okay. What happens if we commit to doing something here and then for some reason we don't do it, or we change our mind and wanna do something else?
We
During
can't
the
change
years.
our mind. It has to be obligated, and the funds can only be used for that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the vendor that's here, but it would, whatever it says in here, like if the ADA is a compliant door and ramp, you have to use it to make this building ADA compliant.
Okay. My other question, before we get into the details, cause there's a whole bunch of these, and, just one other question I had. I can't recall, and I should have reviewed it before I got here, but our purchasing policy, for some of these things, we're over the threshold, I believe. Don't we have to get 3 quotes on some of this stuff?
I don't know if that's for tech.
I don't believe it applies to the ARPA money.
Yeah, I didn't think.
If you do something in town, like a furnace,
Taxpayer funds.
taxpayers fund, I
Yeah.
believe it. I'm not sure, but from what I've been reading, I think ARPA money is to be used in,
Okay.
What is specified.
yes.
Okay,
Exactly. I think you're right on the target.
okay, good enough.
I'm not positive, but from what I've been reading.
Close.
No, I think you're right. Okay. Yeah, if we don't use it for what it's obligated for, we have to return it. So, anybody want to introduce this one? Ed?
What was it that if you didn't, what would happen if you, what did you just say?
If you don't use it for what you obligate it for, you have to return it.
Okay.
You can't change your mind.
Okay.
Okay. So then I guess I'll second it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
it's okay, I know.
We're on the first resolution, right?
Yeah,
The one with,
For the ramp.
obligation and funding of the cost.
they're all gonna say that, but then this is the ADA compliant door and ramp.
Deb seconded it.
Okay, yeah, I heard that part. I was kind of writing something when you started talking. Okay.
Alright, so whereas the town of Thurman is required to be ADA compliant and is in need of an upgrade to the entrance of the town hall in the form of a new door and ramp, be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the project listed above, and it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Thurman authorizes the payment of $25,595 from ARPA funding, which is right now in code A688, and hereby agrees that construction of the project shall be completed no later than 24 months after the approval. Now, the reason that I chose this one is because of how decayed it is at the back door. The back door doesn't function, the concrete is chipped up. This person from National Seating and Mobility actually came here and looked at that, and we are not ADA compliant with the way that door back there is. We have no ramps. If someone were to get out of their car, they'd go right down that tar hill, there's nothing to stop them. Anyway, that's what I was told. So then when I went to the county meeting, I talked about that with the town attorney and asked him, as a municipality, are we required to be ADA compliant? And he said, yes, we are. So regardless of whether we use ARPA funding or not, somehow we do need to bring ourselves up to being ADA compliant. He came and, a person from National Seating and Mobility came, he looked at the door, he measured all different ways that this could be done. And this was the least expensive and least intrusive way. Another way was to bring a ramp out partway across in front of the sign and then down, which would have went right across the front yard. We have that monument there, we have the septic under there. I didn't wanna go over the septic tank, so that's why it's in an L shape, so.
So, just so we're clear, what you're talking about is putting it along the side of the building towards the garage?
No, I'm talking about right here, new doors.
Yeah, without the building on here, I don't know,
Okay, so-
so how's this gonna go?
This would be the door, this
Okay.
door, right here. You would come down almost to the end by where you park, you'd make a right, because they need to have a 5-foot, like a turn, they can't just have one big long straight run. It wouldn't, the elevation wouldn't be right. So it would come out here to the parking area, make a right, and then there'd be ADA parking, like that, handicap parking. So this is the quote that they gave me. Another thing about the door is I mentioned to him that I felt that we need to have the door with the bar. So this includes a whole new door. There would be no
Threshold.
yeah, there would be none of that. It'd be totally flat. It would go out to the concrete that already exists, and then it would start to go down. The door on the right-hand side would have a bar for fire safety. If you needed to get out, it would unlock, you push the bar, and you get out. On the other side, the door would swing in. So if you were coming in and you had a wheelchair or a cane or whatever, you could push that, you could push the button, and that door would swing in. One would swing in, one would swing out. So. I did try another company. I tried, 2 other companies, but the other company that I called does not do commercial, they only do homes. So that's why we have only one.
Question?
When you bring that deck up out there flush with the door, so you can wheel a wheelchair in there, how does the rest of the porch, is a step for everyone coming into the building to step up on the ramp that makes it flush to the door? Cause, are you gonna make the whole porch the height
Right
of
at
the
the
door?
edge of this concrete slab, that's the porch,
The porch,
the ramp will start and go down.
and how do they get up into here? With a step?
There'd be the steps would be under a ramp, they would be not usable. There would be no steps.
This step coming into the building.
No, it'll be flush. They're gonna make that flush with the concrete. It'll be flush. So once they're on that that porch, they'll come straight in.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
this is the same elevation as that?
is.
So they're just gonna take the threshold out?
Yeah.
The
No,
porch is big enough, they don't have to enlarge it or anything?
no, they don't have to do anything with that. And it'll be just right from the floor straight out to that concrete.
So, it'll be going out, it'll be to the right of the existing sidewalk, so the existing sidewalk will still be able to be used?
No, it'll have a ramp over it. There'll be a ramp all the way down to the end.
Covering the whole sidewalk?
Yeah, it'll be like, here's the door, you're gonna go all the way down. It's gonna be right over top of that existing concrete.
Okay, so then, in the future, anybody that just wants to walk in that's not handicapped
Has to
Maybe
walk up the ramp.
has to either walk up the ramp or else
Or
go in
go
the
over
other entrance.
Yeah.
And are we gonna do anything with the other entrance as far as, at the end of that sidewalk is that's the concrete work down here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But on my list for another use of money is to redo that concrete walkway out there that's all cracked up.
Okay,
Yeah, but I didn't know how much that would cost, so I have an estimate. I don't know anything about how much that had nothing to do with this. But I do think we need to fix that concrete because the cracks are getting bigger. And it's over top of the old one. So I was told by Pat that really the right way to do that is chop the whole thing up and start from scratch. You can't just put concrete over the concrete.
he's right.
And you have to have the rubber or whatever, that spacing in between, which is probably why that cracked in the first place. It doesn't have it. So, but that's another item on the list. So we have 24 months to do this. We don't have to wait 24 months. It'd be good to do it like as soon as the weather was okay with it. Do you have any other questions, anybody?
This whole takes in the rear door also.
Hmm?
This takes in the work for the rear door also.
Nothing's happening to that rear door. No, it won't be ADA,
Oh, okay.
it's not ADA compliant. And it's not just for that either, but people with bad knees or bad hips, not just for wheelchairs. But when they had to bring in, and you were here, so you know, when they brought the polling machines in here and they had to get through that door, it was kind of hard for them, and I think they mentioned that it wasn't ADA compliant.
It's all dark and dreary and dingy back there.
Yeah, and that's another thing too, we got that one little light bulb,
Yeah.
you know, so.
So
I get a
this
question.
is, go ahead, Brian.
You said that the door is gonna open in so it doesn't affect the ramp? Is that?
No, not because of that. I thought, and I don't know if I'm right, but I thought that from inside here, you had to have a door that opened out.
You have to.
Yeah, so the right
It's a
door,
commercial building, both doors need to open out. Anything on a commercial building has to open out.
really, because he told me I could have one go in and one go out.
So it's two separate. I don't believe they make a door that's one unit that goes in and out, it'd have to be
Yeah,
two different doors.
it's gonna be, yeah, the one door on this side's gonna open in, and the other door on that side's gonna open out.
The handicap one opens which way? Out?
Into the building.
Into the building?
Into the building, yeah. They were both gonna be that way, but then, I said I thought they had to open out. I thought one door.
That's why they open out, because it's
That's
not
they
a
open out,
commercial building.
yeah. I don't know if he wrote that in here, but, no, he didn't.
The handicap one would work better opening out, opening in like they telling you, because if there's someone out there with a wheelchair and it's open out and the door's opening right straight into them. But I haven't ever seen. Most of the time there'd be a push button out at the edge of the porch where they could hit it there, so the door opened out and they could come in without the door hitting them.
Yeah,
I believe I read
well, that's
something
what'll
out here.
happen here, but the door will open in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a button out there, like they have back there, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this doesn't say anything about which way the doors are opening and
No, they just say Norton door closer, that's all they say. But I know because, or commercial door opener, extended reveal, I don't know what that means. But I know when he was here, that's what he told me, one would open in, one would open out. But that stuff, I mean, we're allocating the money, but that kind of stuff, if we had to change that, we could, as long as we stayed under or paid the extra if there was any, but,
The problem I have with, and I'm all for you spending all the money to get rid of it because we have to, but if you don't have a signed contract by tomorrow night, you can't use any of this money. That's a signed contract with the company you're doing business with.
it has to be legally obligated. The resolution obligates us.
I believe I just read the county website and there says if you don't have a signed contract with the company, it can't be done by tomorrow night.
I don't think that's right, but,
Well, they just spent $400,000 on remodeling the supervisor's meeting room
I know.
and had to spend it before tomorrow night, and they have the contract with the company to do it.
Let's said must be obligated by December 31st. Doesn't say you have to have a contract on there.
I read the obligated part too, but I also read somewhere on, I believe, the treasurer's that you have to have a signed contract to go with what you wanna do, else it can't be used. And every one of these would have to be a signed contract by tomorrow night.
Well, I would have a signed proposal.
And the proposal and the contract are two different things.
Yeah.
The contract means you're giving them the money to do it, whether it's next week or 24 months from now.
Well, what
That
about,
obligates the company to do the job that you contracted with them. The way I read it in the county, you have to have that signed contract from the company that you're using the money with that company.
So, okay, so I think I got an answer to part of your question. This proposal here at the bottom has a thing that says accepted by. So if she signs it, this will become a contract. That's for the handicap ramp. The one for the furnace has a similar thing on the bottom of it, date of acceptance and signature. So I think that would make that a contract.
but you know, when you're buying something like the AED for the youth building, that's a purchase. There'd be no contract for that. I mean, maybe it's only for projects, I don't know. But the thing I read didn't say it needed a contract. It said it had to be legally obligated, legally, and a resolution does make that a legal.
Maybe I'm not. That's not what I read. Because they started pushing this issue in September. You need to have the money spent and you need a contract
Yeah,
from the people you're doing, that's gonna do the work for you.
right.
Because,
But then some of their contracts say the lowest of 3 bidders. They don't specify the contract.
well,
Who it is.
you just answered the question that Randy asked when we started this. The lowest of 3 bidders, which means they put all of their contracts went out to bid.
That's how the county did it.
Yeah, well,
right.
Don't we run by the same law the county runs by?
I don't think we have to do 3 bidders. I don't know if that's because of the procurement policy or they're just wanting to get 3 bids. I don't know.
Just a question, because the way I read what I've been reading on the county,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not a contract with a company to do this work, say you call Brosix and they gave you a contract 3 days ago that said they were gonna drill a well for $25,000, that's a signed contract with the company with the people that are gonna drill your well.
Mm-hmm.
That obligates you to use that money to pay them, and you have the company that's gonna do it.
Yeah, but I don't think it seems right that you would have to pick the contractor when may not spend this money for 2 years.
That's the
kinda-
whole idea, that it had to be in by December 31st, because you knew whatever contractor you deal with doesn't have to do it for 24 months, but you have to have a contract with them
Yeah, I don't
as
know.
of the 31st.
I don't think I need a contract, but I could check on that tomorrow, but I don't think I do. I think it has to be legally obligated and a resolution legally obligates it, so.
And who's it legally obligated to? That you're gonna get it done, or? I
To
mean,
us, it legally obligates us.
And you can pick any contractor after you legally obligated it, or?
Well, not with this one because we have them, but
Yeah, your heating and stuff is a contractor.
yeah, there's a contractor for that. That's a big ticket item, but something like buying an AED or buying a window or buying a sink,
Yeah, I understand
you know, that, I
the window,
don't think you need
but
that.
this is a $25,000 ramp you put in.
Mm-hmm, yep. And we
And
have
you've talked to 2 people, who's getting the contract?
National Seating and Mobility, the other one doesn't do commercial, so I would pick these people. They came here, they measured it.
Isn't this a commercial building?
This is, yeah. The other one only does residences.
Oh, residential.
Yeah, they only do residential.
Just something to think about before midnight tomorrow.
Okay,
Thanks, Brian.
I'll check that out, but I'm
I've been
pretty
reading
sure.
all day on it, and
I'm pretty.
the way I read it, you have to have
Yeah.
a signed contract.
I'll find out, but I'm pretty sure I'm okay with it. Alright, so how do we feel about the ADA compliant dorm ramp? Are we all okay?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The next one's a resolution authorizing the obligation and funding of central air and furnace combo unit for the first floor of the town hall. So someone bring that to the floor,
I will.
Randy, okay,
Second.
Beth, okay. Okay, whereas the town of Thurman has been advised that the existing furnace is outdated and the need for a new furnace is evident, that's what they told me when they came to service it. And whereas it would be beneficial to the residents of Thurman if the town hall could be utilized as a cooling station in the summer. And whereas to be considered for a cooling station, it requires the town hall to have central air conditioning. Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the project listed above, and it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Thurman authorizes the payment of $16,809.71 from ARPA funding, and hereby agrees that construction of the project shall be completed no later than 24 months after the approval. So this, representative from GA Bove, he came here, he looked at our furnace, he looked at our ductwork, he looked all around our entire building, and, it won't work for upstairs because there's no ductwork up there, and I told him we don't really need it up there, we need it down here. So he said it would be cheaper if we got the combo unit, and he went and walked around outside, he looked at where propane comes in, and this was the quote that he gave me. Any questions on it?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Did he give you any idea that you're looking at an oil burner? Is an oil burner more efficient than a propane furnace? I mean, we have propane here.
Yes.
They're swapping it to an oil burner, which I'd say it is now.
It's an oil burner.
Yeah. But a propane furnace burns cleaner.
Well, we have oil now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, down there, that's
Mm.
the generator.
Generally less maintenance with propane too.
Yeah. And isn't that
You
propane?
don't have to
Can
have,
you run air conditioning with propane too?
No.
Well, that's why I think he's doing the combination unit. It's not two separate
You
things.
don't run air conditioner. Air conditioner on a furnace is all electric. The furnace runs off of fuel oil, the air conditioner runs off electricity, but propane burns cleaner. It's a cost thing. I think the furnaces are equally about the same price, oil burner, or, I had a furnace put in recently. In the cost price for the furnace itself, taking out the cost of the air conditioning, because that's another price on here.
Right.
It was just a question, with propane being more efficient, burns cleaner, you're running your generator off of propane, does the stove run off of propane?
Yes.
So one big submarine tank would do the whole thing, your heat, everything in town hall would be run off of propane.
What about all the ductwork and everything else?
So that has nothing to do
Stay
with
the
all
same.
It's all the same.
yeah,
It
the
wouldn't
tank
look
would
bad.
be expensive.
It was just a question, I mean, if the price is,
They might replace that with a propane for a few dollars less, few dollars more.
yeah,
It's a
well, you gotta
question.
look at the cost of propane per gallon to fuel oil.
Oh, yeah. It's a
And
question.
it is, I don't know, is the fuel oil outside here or inside?
It's outside,
So
Right
you
outside the
have to
door.
have red kerosene, right? Cause it's
Right.
outdoors.
So, yeah,
So
so
it's
car,
gotta be
car,
nice.
yeah. Usually kerosene.
The one trade-off with the propane though, if you have to buy a big tank, is the cost of the tank, or else you have to pay the rental fee on it.
Yeah.
So,
You don't want a rental fee.
no.
I paid for my tank 10
The
times.
tanks are expensive too.
Yeah.
I-
The submarine tank's about 2,500.
Yeah.
What's that?
The submarine tank's about 25.
That's like a 500 gallon tank?
Yeah, or bigger.
To buy it, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been.
You don't want to rent
No, they're expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I rented a smaller one, it was $150 a year for that one.
I mean, I think if we had time
one.
to
Yeah, you don't
do
have
something
time.
like this, I would agree with
It was
Brian.
just a question,
Mhm.
because I know we have propane here.
But is it something I could bring up to GA Bove? I mean, they do all our fuel, they do our propane too.
Okay.
So I could probably,
They do
Yeah,
the
but
propane
ask
on the
them.
hill.
To go
I
through
could
this
ask
and
him
that, talk about it, if the fund is,
It's just a telephone.
he might go for the
Yeah.
same price if you
Yeah.
know he's gonna get the contract.
I would say even if it costs $4,000 or $5,000 more because of
It'd
the
be
cost of
worth
the tank, I think it would be better.
Yeah.
to go with propane.
Yeah.
It's a lot cleaner and
Do you wanna?
You eliminate the fuel and the risk of a spill.
spills, right?
It's cleaner, you don't have to have annual maintenance on a fuel burner, you don't have,
It's not as dusty. you know,
there's a lot of reasons to go with propane.
as dusty.
That would be my choice.
So do you wanna increase the amount to like 20? That's increasing it for, that would be 4,000 or?
Yeah, I mean, if we know we're gonna spend it, otherwise it takes it away from something else we can spend it on, because
Yeah.
once it's committed to this, we can't switch
But
it to
if it's a
something else.
small amount, like 4,000, maybe we could come up with it with interest or some other amount in the budget. and-
We could do it out of
Cover it
town
that
funds,
way.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, I would agree with that,
Okay.
so.
sounds like a plan.
I would say,
So-
let's modify the resolution,
Yeah.
wait a minute, so I introduced this, who seconded it?
Ed,
Ed did.
Yeah.
Okay,
I know the ones that I saw at the county, they said things like any additional funds, any additional costs would be paid through the general fund, or, you know, they wrote sentences like that if the ARPA money wasn't gonna be enough.
Our
Again.
resolution just says, it doesn't specify the type, it just says Furnace County.
Yeah.
okay,
So I
Yeah.
think that would be acceptable.
All right. good enough,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
I
Just
think it would be.
looking at your ARPA funding paperwork, you have $18,000 that you haven't spent yet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know.
So if you went with a propane tank, you'd still be under, I mean, looking at the price
Yeah.
per unit, you'd still have money in the ARPA money
Yeah,
to make it happen.
we could do that, yeah. But
I mean,
we'd have to do it.
According to this, you got 18,360.
Yeah, that's what's left. And the other, those bottom four, I just put estimates, I don't
Yeah.
have anything on them. So,
But without committing that $18,000, you just lose it, correct?
no, we have to allocate it to something. This is what I came up with, whatever.
Yeah, all your numbers come up to 102,000. You got
Yeah,
18,000.
including those estimated ones.
Yes.
Yeah,
But if you don't spend that $18,000 by tomorrow night, you lose it.
if I don't obligate it, yes. I know, well, this was just what
Yeah.
well, we're gonna talk about what else we wanna do and add to
Okay.
it. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you were talking about general fund money to make it propane.
Oh,
You
if
got
we
the- you
obligated
got the
all of
money
this, yeah.
in
Or
that.
we could increase this now and not worry about that, but then if we don't use it all. Yeah. Mm. I don't know, we could do whatever you want. You wanna go up to 20, you wanna leave it here and see what happens, I can call them.
Let's just leave it here, and if we go with propane, we go with propane, and the town can pick up the difference. We'll just use this other money for something
Yeah.
else.
Okay, all right then, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I wrote ask about propane, I'll call him tomorrow.
I need to ask for a break. I gotta hit the restroom. Sorry.
Well, it is cleaner.
Oh, yeah.
Propane is definitely cleaner.
I put my new one in, I'm going propane
Are you?
for back.
Our backup is
For
propane.
backup.
Yeah, ours is gonna be
I'm
propane
taking
too.
the oil burner out and putting the propane back.
Mhm.
With the boiler, I got the wood one, just like the identical here is, you know. Propane.
Well, the outdoor furnace is great, but you need something because that requires electricity.
Yeah.
So if you lose your electric, that's why we're gonna put a propane one, sort of like what you have in the building up there.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a little bigger one of them.
And the propane generator.
These people are really good to work with too.
Yeah,
You
they
know,
were up the other day, they come on Saturday,
to do what?
don't get.
Oh, to fill you up? Yeah, I know, they're good about the refill too.
He was there on a Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I was
No, they
surprised.
were very, very nice, very professional.
Yeah.
I mean, and they know that even if I do sign and send this thing back, you know, they may not do this right away, cause nobody wants to have your stuff ripped out in the winter,
Yeah.
but I don't know, they give me a date on here. I know they did on that one. Accepted by 1/23. Yeah.
It'd be something to have central air, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
They should have done it when they put the unit in before.
but you know,
They
every
had
year
some-
the county asks me, are you gonna be a cooling station? And in order to do it, you have to have central air, so
We
I
have
could,
nowhere.
I could never do it.
Yeah,
Plenty
that's-
of room under there to work and put it in.
That is, I mean, it's kind of what we need to have in a town, because there's nowhere for anybody to go. They have to go to another town.
Yeah, or hotel or whatever, they'd have, or someone who had air conditioning. Now, they do have through weatherization on, every year they have this,
Yeah.
like a
People
program
like
to
it.
get an air conditioner, but maybe you can't afford to run the thing either, you know, you don't know. I don't really like air conditioning, it drives me
I don't
crazy.
either, but
I like
some
the-
days though, it
Yeah,
would feel
right.
good.
We'll all be at work on the bad days. Alright. The next one is a resolution to purchase an AED for the youth building.
I'll introduce it.
Okay, Randy, thanks. And Ed,
And you seconded?
okay. Whereas the town of Thurman is in need of an AED to be kept at the youth building in order to be prepared for an emergency situation, as well as to comply with requirements of certain youth-related grants. Be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the purchase of an AED with pediatric pads as well as adult pads in the amount of $2,021 from ARPA funding. And there's a picture, it's the same to the one I have over there and the one that the
But it's a
highway
youth
has.
one.
Oh, and you have one too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's the same one you have,
Got the youth paddles.
yeah? And there was a grant she applied for, and it said that you had to have one, so, and it's a good thing to have up there, right? It's a small amount of money, but you could use it. Okay, you have any questions on that one, you're good? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's good. The next one is a resolution to purchase a free store building for the transfer station. Can you bring that to the floor? Ed, okay?
I'll second.
Randy, okay. Whereas residents of the town of Thurman have requested a building that will house unwanted furniture and household goods which will operate as a community free store. And whereas the town board of the town of Thurman believes this may help reduce the materials that end up as garbage, be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the project listed above, and it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Thurman authorizes the payment of $11,265 for the building and an additional $5,000 for heating and electric from ARPA funding, and hereby agrees that construction of the project shall be completed no later than 24 months after the approval. So this is the same company that's down in Warrensburg, that Griffin and Sons. It's the one where Ed got his building for the transfer station. We are tax exempt, so ignore that $788.
Just gonna ask you about that. Okay.
No, we're already set up with them to be tax exempt.
Okay.
The widest building you can get is 14 feet because of how it gets delivered. So this building would be 14 by 24. And there's pictures of every side. Now, if you wanted to increase the amount, we can add more windows, but I felt, you know, a door in the front, double doors so that we can open it to get big things through. It has a floor, so we don't need to worry about that. It's already gravelled back there, so that's already set up. And then there's a back window and a side window.
The only thing I would suggest is eliminate porch, and that way you get more floor space inside the building, 'cause what do we really need a porch for?
We could do that. It doesn't, you know,
More space inside the building to me is better.
okay,
Yeah, it would be.
okay, so let me remove the porch.
What are we changing?
We're gonna
We're gonna
remove
remove
the
the
porch from
porch.
the building.
Do we need that in the resolution?
No, but the dollar amount may change.
Okay,
If anything, it's gonna go down because the porch is like an extra add-on. So if we keep the money the same, it won't be more. It's more to put
Yeah.
the porch on.
The side porch is $1,095, so we
Yeah.
can just eliminate that.
Yeah.
So
We can leave the dollar amount the same if you want, so because I don't know what it's gonna cost. I put 5,000 for heating and electric.
That's probably about right.
That's what I
From
thought.
when I was talking to him yesterday, today, pretty close.
Unless you think, okay, so you think that's enough for heating and electric to move it? We'll probably do the same thing that you got, we'll put the
Yeah.
heater in there, because they're gonna be coming to deliver to you anyway.
It's minimal,
Yeah.
okay, usage.
And I think
It
it'll
don't take
be-
much, like that, but we don't use very much at all,
Yeah.
even in our old building.
Does it need to be heated?
Yeah,
Does it need to be heated
I think it should be, yeah.
for people to come and look at free stuff?
Well, there's gonna be people in there probably volunteering to work in there and
Is
set it up and all.
This is an uninsulated building, so it would only probably be heated when somebody's working in there. It wouldn't be heated the rest of the time.
Well, we could do it like we do the youth building, it's on pilot until they're up there and then they turn it off. Yeah, so that'll. Right, I think that will make a lot of people happy and a lot of that stuff that gets put in there,
I hear
seated
it all
in.
the time, when we get our free stuff.
Yeah, and it's so nice how it just comes, they drop it where you want it,
You'd
it's
be
done.
surprised the stuff that people actually take them up.
Oh, yeah. But now it'd be a place out of the weather to keep it too.
Nice stuff comes in, but we have to get rid of it.
I know. No, it'll keep our garbage down too. Okay, does anybody have any other discussion or questions? No? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, Ed, you're gonna appreciate the next one, I know you've been bugging me about it for a little while.
Oh, there you go.
This is a resolution to replace the 2 bathroom vanities and the windows. Sue Baker mentioned to me the windows are really drafty in there, so I added that in here. So we'll someone bring that to the floor?
I will.
I'll second.
Whereas the sinks in the bathrooms at the town hall hang on a wall and are loose, causing a hazardous situation, and the windows are old and not energy efficient, be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the purchase of 2 bathroom vanities in the amount of $105.05 each, and 2 new windows in the amount of $128 each, plus an additional $284 for installation from ARPA funding.
So, vanities, you're not buying new sinks, you're just putting vanities under these sinks? Because you don't have anything listed in here for the sinks?
It comes with the
Oh,
sink.
it comes with the sink?
Yeah,
We just have to hook ours.
oh, but you know what we do need is faucets. It says with 3 faucet holes, this doesn't come with the faucet. So, but $284 for the installation, that'll be able to, that should cover the faucets too, right? They're not that much money. Hmm?
$50 a piece.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So 24" by 18, we don't need a big sink in there, they had 36"
My concern is them old sinks are on them old
So,
metal
okay,
brackets and they're rotten. They're gonna lean on them, they're gonna break right off the wall.
I know.
I've repaired them enough.
You're gonna want them to break out off the wall so you can put the vanity there.
I know. I don't want them to break.
My daughter did that at the dentist. She hopped up on it to see her tooth in the mirror and the sink fell off the wall.
so I'm missing something here, because this is only a China vanity top. this doesn't actually include the vanity.
Really?
No, it just says China vanity top.
Oh.
Oh, wait a minute, no, I'm sorry. It
24
says
by
24
18.
by, okay, yep.
No, you might be right,
So-
because
no.
look, it says fits a standard 24" by 18" cabinet. So this is just a sink, well, that isn't good, because we've seen kits down there that have the sink and the
Yeah,
vanity.
they do have them there, I don't know exactly what the prices are at the moment, but.
Yeah, this is just talking about vanity,
Well, then this isn't.
fits a standard vanity cabinet, but this doesn't include the cabinet.
No, but
So,
I gotta find out how much it would be to get a cabinet, they're not much more than this, I think they're only like $150.
Yeah, you're right,
Mm-hmm.
but with the top, usually about $150.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's.
so we need to modify the amount.
yeah, we'll try to change the amount. Alright, so if we say, let's say $350 for the two, right, that sound
I'd
about
say
right?
400.
Huh?
You gotta add in that sink fixture, faucet fixtures.
Yeah, alright.
You're looking at $200, $150 for the top and the base.
So
and-
400 for the two
Yeah.
sinks?
And then you gotta have faucets.
No, he added that.
Okay.
They have them down there that the cabinet has a round type sink or a China sink like this that
Yeah.
comes in a box.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah,
I
I've
believe
seen
around
them.
$156, then another 50 for the faucets, and you're looking at 200,
So we'll change that to 200
roughly
each.
200 for each bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
So you
So what number are we changing, the
The
105?
105 will become 200 each,
So, okay, so
and then the total will have to
approves the
change.
purchase of 2 bathroom vanities in the amount of 200
Yeah,
even,
right,
Each.
each, right, it
Each.
says each, alright.
So that changes your
and then the two new windows, I actually found these windows that will fit right in the hole of the existing windows, cause they're awkward, they're like 25 by 25 inches. So these are 23 and a half, so this will be, I couldn't find anything else other than these side-by-side ones, but they'll be definitely more energy efficient.
So you're up to $740, so why don't we just say $800 total?
800 total?
I agree. You got the money, spend it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are we putting that in the resolution?
That's an additional to,
We'll just add it as the last sentence,
yeah,
for maximum total $800.
So that's like a separate sentence.
Yeah.
yeah.
For a maximum,
So it'd be
for a max total of what again?
$800.
Of 800, okay.
Okay. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, I have to change this. The next one is a resolution authorizing the obligation and funding of the cost of the well and septic at the transfer station property. And this, I went off the estimate from the engineer for 25,000 right here.
I'll introduce it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Whereas the town of Thurman is in the process of building a new highway garage at the transfer station property site, and whereas part of the project involves the installation of a well and septic tank, be it resolved, the town board of the town of Thurman approves the project listed above, and it's further resolved that the town board of the town of Thurman authorizes the payment of 25,000 based on the engineer's estimate to be funded from ARPA funds, and hereby agrees that construction of the project shall be completed no later than 24 months after the approval.
The second whereas, I would change septic tank to septic system.
System, okay.
Wait, what?
the second whereas clause,
Okay.
it says well and septic tank. It's not just a septic tank, it's a septic system.
So put system instead of tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
And the work on this will be done by the town highway crew, so basically, we're just purchasing materials for the
Right.
septic system.
Yeah, the work is being done by the highway, yeah.
I mean,
As far as the digging of the hole and, you know, all
right,
that. Which I think he has that listed on here too.
yeah, I mean,
Site preparation, I think it's in there.
obviously, the well driller will do all the well
Mhm.
drilling and all that, they'll do all the connections for that.
With the engineer's supervision, right?
Right,
Yeah.
the only thing I'm questioning is whether or not we need to specify the electric for the well.
Yeah, I don't know anything about how that works.
I mean, normally, you run the wire right in the same trench that you do the water line.
Yes.
So,
Okay,
and usually the well driller will make the connections and hook it up, so,
okay. Should we add that?
Well, the driller supplies the wire, right?
Yeah.
generally, yes.
Yes.
The complete installation.
Would that be considered part of installation?
I would think so.
I think you've got enough in here, and the
Yeah.
installation of a well, yeah, that'll cover it. We're good.
Okay.
Do you have to survey for a well?
What?
Shows $2,500 in survey, soft cost,
What?
on this Cedarwood.
That's the survey for the total project, it's not just for this.
Oh,
That's the whole surveying for
the septic.
the garage and everything,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The next resolution I have is authorizing the moving of slick and electric to the new transfer station building, as well as the cost of insulation and the interior walls. So do you have your paper with you, or did Pat have that?
Pat's got it.
Pat has it?
We talked to Curtis and Murphy. Murphy's
Oh, T.C.
cheaper.
Murphy. Well, let's bring it to the floor first, okay?
Yeah.
You wanna bring it in?
I'll
Randy, you wanna second it?
Yep.
Whereas the town of Thurman has recently installed a new building for the transfer station that requires electric and internet utilities, as well as finishing the inside of the building, be it resolved the town board of the town of Thurman approves the project listed above, and it is further resolved that the town board of the town of Thurman authorizes the payment of $4,000 to be funded from ARPA funds, and hereby agrees that construction of the project shall be completed no later than 24 months after the approval. So you went to TC, I know you had a paper on it.
Yeah.
Tell me
That include insulation,
wiring.
wiring, the boxes, the small cell panel, even the knotty pine board for the walls.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
That's-
any discussion more on that? It'd be nice to do the same thing in the other building too.
I don't know why.
It would be
can't,
nice.
yeah.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I know Winnie Martin was a big
Oh, God,
proponent
yes.
of the,
Oh.
so I might call her up because you could choose the colors
Mhm.
of the building, and I might ask her to come down and tell me
Green
if she
and brown
likes.
will make APA happy. So
Yeah,
remember
green
that.
roof, brown
Green
building,
or brown,
yeah.
or a light blue. Yeah.
So that is all that I have. The other things that I put down on here, LED lights installation, because they're gonna give me the 4 new lights we need in that room, but I need to hire an electrician to put them in. I have no idea how much that would cost. The concrete sidewalk repair out front, I have no idea what that would cost either.
That's
A
good.
well for the youth building, I'd really like to move the highway water up there or get that partial permission to do it in the summer. But I don't know, you know, these are just ideas that I had, or new, meeting equipment, if we have to go back to Zoom so people can communicate with us at a meeting,
Yeah,
if you wanted to do something like
I
that.
think that would be good for
Yes.
people. I
Yeah.
think it would be.
I have no idea on that cost
I don't
either.
either.
I don't either, I don't even know where to begin on that.
No.
I started to look at things, but it seems like they use just a big TV screen,
Mhm.
you know, like a flat panel TV screen, and then they have something that hooks to the laptop that focuses it on the wall.
Mhm. Then
But
they
I
can
don't know
talk
how
to
they
us
made
if
it so
they
people
want.
can talk to you, you know, like there's a
Oh,
way.
I don't know either, but
I
I've
don't
seen
know
it,
how
I've
to
been
do
on
it.
it before.
Yeah, I've been on it,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. It's over my
Or if you
head.
guys have any other ideas, let's see where are we at now. We have 2.
The only thing I would say is, I think as much as I wanna have water supply to the youth building,
Yeah,
putting a well in for that, I think is kind of a waste of money, because as soon as the highway garage is gone, we
I
can
agree.
connect them up.
Yeah.
And so you're just wasting the money to have it there for a couple of years.
And who do you have to talk to see whether you can tee off with a well that's coming here?
Board of
way-
Health,
The way it is right now, the New York State Health Department, if you go to 5 or more connections on a well, it becomes a public water supply, then all the regulations kick in about having to have an operator, having to have testing and monitoring, all that stuff.
Expensive.
So
Chlorine.
we can't do it legally, put it that way.
But the,
Um,
who do you talk to about something like that with what you just told me? Because the youth pretty much is never using water at the same time that the water's being going to here or the highway.
Right.
bill.
I
It's always
agree.
a- It's always after events.
It's unfortunately, the way they do it is the number
They have
of
to
connections. Yeah.
yeah.
So I would just say that either ask them for a waiver so that we can
Yeah,
connect
that's
it for the next year or two until the highway garage is done, with the understanding we're building highway garage, that's gonna be disconnected.
Yeah.
And it's used intermittently, and just see if they'll give us a waiver. And, I mean, if
Or even
not,
a water tank, if we could fill something up there, then they'd have pressure and they could use the sink in the bathroom.
yeah, I would rather see that $6,000. So the $102,000 that you've got quoted here, that includes these other things.
Yeah, so
that
we
did.
I would have to take all those estimated things off.
Well, before you do that, the concrete sidewalk repair, I think we should do.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And the LED lighting, I have no objection to that either.
but do you think those costs are right? I don't know what it costs to
I
do
think
it.
the concrete sidewalk repair is probably gonna cost you more if you do it right.
Yeah.
It has to be all cut out, all of it
They
removed.
need
Yep.
to be removed.
Well, the town guys can,
Yeah.
they can dig that out with a backhoe.
Yep,
Oh, okay,
That's no big
no
deal.
big deal.
They can break that up, dig it out.
they
An
can,
hour.
they can even do it.
So how do you, so then what, you put up a form?
I'm volunteering us to do it.
Okay.
How's that sound?
So what do? You put up a
Yeah.
wooden form and you
Yeah.
have the truck come and they pump it and then how do you, what do you have, you have to form out the squares and leave space and that's it? Isn't there like black tar that goes in there or no?
No,
No?
it's just an expansion.
You should put crushed stone under it or something.
Definitely.
Okay,
Put a layer of crushed stone, put some,
I don't know if you were gonna use wire or
Wire.
fiberglass.
Wire, rebar, probably.
oh, like that mesh stuff,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah.
They make a fiberglass that you don't have to use wire in, but the way
okay.
the ground moves around here, you'll be better off with
if
wire.
Ed's gonna do all the work, then probably do it for 2,500.
Yeah.
We get hired more to help. We've done a lot of them. We've done a lot of them.
Well, the concrete alone's gonna cost you $1,000.
Oh, yeah,
Is
at
it-
least,
what, it
it's
will?
expensive right
Yeah.
now. Concrete's up there, going higher.
Mhm.
I think,
And then you need the wood for the
$180 a
forms.
yard.
Probably, yeah.
Forms you can use, anybody has rough sawn wood around. I
Just
mean,
scrap wood,
You can go to Cooper's or whatever it is, and get 16-foot form boards that are 12 inches wide and
Mhm.
rip them to what you want. They're
okay.
cheap,
So you think 2,500 is fair enough money?
close, with our guys doing the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, ripping it,
I'll
they'll rip it
volunteer.
all out,
I'll
yeah.
volunteer to help me.
Okay, good.
Better to ask forgiveness, right?
Just make sure the end of it hits the blacktop at the
Oh,
right
it
elevation.
will, I promise. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll even do the edges properly.
So we're gonna take out the,
It could probably even be whiter too, because,
Yeah.
you know, people come cause not everybody's gonna walk up the ramp, so.
No,
No,
I don't ever come up that way.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time
I
the
think
door's
we
locked.
can do it for that.
Well, at least it doesn't bang anymore, did you notice, that was fixed?
I've never used that. though.
I think we can do it.
I got a question about your LED lights.
Okay,
You've got an estimate there. Who are you getting the LED lights from? Because I believe these came from Hill Electric.
well, I'm getting the lights free from Hill Electric, they have a 5-year
You
warranty.
know Hill Electric's going out of business.
No, I did not know that.
They got signs up and down Broad Street, Glens Falls, going out of business.
Well, I better get my free lights first.
That was the comment I was coming to.
Yeah.
If you're getting them from Hill Electric, you might wanna look into getting them pretty
Yeah.
quick.
I
Whether
did
they
call and
sit
left a
here or
message.
not, once they close, they ain't gonna give them to you.
No, I'm supposed to get them, so,
Yeah,
All right, I'll make 2 resolutions then. The first resolution is that we appropriate $3,200 of ARPA money to install LED lights in the town hall.
mhm.
Do you wanna vote on that one?
Yep, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I,
And then I'll make, sorry, go
Who
ahead.
did the motion in the second on your?
I made the motion, nobody seconded it,
I
sorry.
will,
Ed
I'll
seconded it.
second.
And that was 3,200
For LED lighting in the
Yes.
town hall.
to install LED lights in town hall.
200.
Okay. Got it?
And then I'll make a motion that we appropriate $2,500 of ARPA money to replace the concrete sidewalk leading up to the town hall entrance.
I'll second it.
Ed seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
I, for the youth building, we'll do away with that.
Okay, so now. So that'll stay to, I just have.
Don't forget, we took an extra $250 for the bathroom vanities.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's 850.
What was that?
800.
800 for that one, yeah.
So what do we got left over now, Dave?
I should be able to.
Should be about 24,400, 388.
$24,588.51.
So is that, what, do I need to put that somewhere?
No, because we still gotta spend it.
51.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything you guys wanna see done?
I'd like to
Well,
see,
Go ahead.
I'd like to see you get an electrical inspection. An electrical inspection of, those lights didn't go out because they were bad and these lights stayed good. There's something out there that made them lights go.
Yeah, they flickered and flickered, yeah.
Well, you got all these lights at the same time. This electrical was done after that. This was
Right.
an addition. These lights are all perfectly fine. There's something going on out there.
Okay.
Does a switch in the bathroom run these lights?
These lights need to be on for the bathroom lights to go
Oh,
on.
there you go.
Yeah.
You got a serious electrical problem in there somewhere.
How much does an electrical inspection cost?
From an electrical inspector that goes into your home after it's built, you know, you have to get a CO, you have to have an electrical inspector,
Right.
$250.
Mhm.
But if you got somebody to install these lights, they would backtrack your electrical to see where the problem is, that you have to have these lights on, turn on the bathroom lights. And from what I know, the power in the bathroom has to be fed off of these lights if you have to have the lights on, turn the bathroom light on.
You
Feed's
do.
coming from the light.
Uh-huh.
So,
That in itself is illegal, you can't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't feed, a receptacle or a switch has to be on a different breaker than the lights.
so how about for the resolution that I made on the LED lights,
Mm-hmm.
why don't we modify that to say
Okay.
installation of LED lights and
Inspection.
necessary electrical inspection and improvements to bring our, I'm not sure, electrical,
Compliant, to make it compliant.
Well, all I see is that if you need to turn them lights on, that the bathroom light work, there's something wrong right in that part of the building. If you have no other electrical problems in the building, it has something to do with them lights.
It is, it wasn't like that, till they put the lights in.
Yeah, it has something to do with gore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Gore is, I ain't bad mouthing anybody, but
So,
if you put them lights in and you gotta turn the.
They were supposed to
So-
fix that when they were here and they didn't. That the bathroom lights were not supposed to be, that was supposed to be fixed, and it wasn't.
But if you want a short,
Mhm.
and you gotta turn them lights on, turn the bathroom lights on, there's a good possibility you're gonna get a short when you turn that bathroom light on, cause you're running up, your power's running out to ceiling lights, which it shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
so why don't we just add, you wanna add $1,000
Yeah, I
to
think
that?
that's good.
So-
Make it 4,200.
And
and does this sound, to install LED lights in the town hall and necessary?
make necessary
And necessary
An inspection
electrical
and
improvements.
electrical improvement inspection?
Inspection and improvements, yeah.
And necessary election,
Electrical improvements.
and
I don't think we-
necessary electrical inspection and improvements,
Yes.
right?
Okay, yep,
Do you need the inspection part or don't?
Brian.
If we're having
Any
someone
good
put it in.
electrician's gonna follow the wire.
No,
Okay.
I mean, there's only 2 or 3 people from here to Albany do actual electrical inspections.
So
Independent
leave the-
electrical, if you can't trust the electrician that's putting them lights up,
Okay,
you shouldn't be using them.
so we don't need the inspection part, we just,
That's, all he's gonna do is come in and hook his meters onto the end of it, and he's gonna write you a little dinky piece of paper that said Ron Mungo from Independent inspected the
Okay.
electrical.
Mhm.
so all we need to do is just.
The guy that puts them lights in needs to be told that there's a problem between the bathroom light and those lights, that
Okay.
the power needs to be ran separate to the bathroom light,
Mm-hmm,
so you don't have to turn on these lights to use the bathroom. And
yes.
he'll tell you, well, most anybody that does electrical work will tell you in 5 minutes, no big deal, I'm just gonna move this wire.
Mhm.
Oh.
So we'll modify our resolution to say, to make necessary electrical improvements to bring our wiring into compliance with the National Electrical Code.
Is there more than one switch that turns them ceiling lights on? Just asking Debbie or.
No,
No.
no.
So
Only
it's
one
not a-
light switch, it's over by the door,
And
over
it's the
there.
only one that turns them lights on.
Turns these lights on, oh, it turns all the lights on.
Yeah, but it's not a 3-way, it's not a switch
No,
right by the door
no.
that turns them on.
No, but
Because that's
there
where they,
is,
when they jump leads, that's where they start jumping the third wire
Wait,
to run for a power.
We got too many people talking, hold on a second, we gotta get this straightened out.
All right, approve 4,200 to install LED lights in the town hall and
Make
necessary
necessary improvements,
electrical improvements,
yes.
mean that, electrical improvements to bring
The town hall wiring
the wiring
into compliance,
into compliance,
we'll just say appropriate codes.
Yeah,
And what?
We'll just say appropriate codes,
up to code.
Into,
or bring it up to code.
bring my.
so am I saying to bring the wiring into compliance to what? To,
With appropriate codes.
with, okay, appropriate codes.
That kind of is vague enough to
Uh,
cover
and
everything.
the bathroom is always freezing cold, is there a way to have some heat in there?
Well, that's what the new windows are for, because Sue mentioned to me that they're very drafty, they're so old, and they're,
It's cold.
yeah, no, but we'll have we're gonna have new windows in there.
Isn't our heat run on floor registers?
Yeah, there is, but
There's a register in there, but it never seems like there's
I
any
don't know
heat
if that's
there.
heat coming out or air going in, I'm not sure what that
Yeah,
does.
it wakes you up.
Yeah.
Kind
I did want to tell you too, though, there's a switch in that room that works these fans too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It works the fans in there and it works the fans in here, in that room.
Mhm.
So you got a lot of stuff connected to that.
Mhm.
Each room ought to be on a different breaker. I mean, I don't know
There's a panel there and there's one in the basement too.
Yeah.
Just that, I mean, if you have an electrician in here,
Just have them check everything.
they walk around, hit the switches and see what they do and recommend that.
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta put those fans on, the switch out there and these fans on, switch.
Let's see where we are.
And we just took 800 away from that, so we should be at 23,788.51.
$17,888.51 is what I have. After we take out the lights and the concrete.
You gotta add the 6,000 in from the well for the youth building.
So I didn't count that one.
We should have 23,000, cause you had 24,588.51 was what was left over.
Yeah.
And we just took another 800 out of that for the electrical stuff, so we should be at 23,788.
Oh, I added that 2 times because it was up here.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of things that we can do,
Okay.
and I don't know if this is realistic, but what if we had our town website modified to allow people to pay their tax bills online?
That's fine with me. I don't know how Jamie would feel, but
I don't know
I'm
how
fine with
much it would cost,
Yeah.
but that would, rather than either having to come in person or mail a check,
it. Yeah,
people could actually just go to the computer and pay their tax bill online.
yeah, that's a good idea. I like that.
I mean, I don't know what it would cost to do that, to set up that system, so maybe it's not realistic to propose it now, but
No, I don't.
it's an idea. I mean, I'm just thinking of things we could do.
No, we could just call Matt and ask him. I'm sure we could do that in a day. That's not a big deal. Lots of people are doing that. And you know what? Especially for the people who don't live here.
Right. Well, that's the thing. We have a lot of out-of-town residents,
Yeah.
and this way they don't have to mail a paper check.
Yeah.
They can pay it out because everybody's paying their bills online now.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't like it. He's
No,
shaking his head.
I'm all for what you're doing, but don't say everybody's paying their bills online, cause
Well,
there's a lot of us that still go and get a piece
Yeah.
of paper, you have a receipt to go with.
Yeah, you want the receipt right away. Yeah.
Well,
I
I
don't know
think
how
there's,
much you do get one.
yeah, there would have to be a way in the system that you
Yeah.
get a confirmation. I mean, when I pay bills online, I always print a receipt out for my tax records.
Right.
You get a
That's 'cause you've
confirmation,
got good
you
internet.
switch stuff.
So that brings me to the other thing. I mean, I really wanted to see us spend some of the money towards improving the internet on Dippick Road and Sky High Road. Kevin Lynch has still not sent me the quote that I asked for, so I don't know what it would cost us to get that done, and I hesitate to appropriate money because if it doesn't pan out, it's wasted.
That's right. It's
So,
gonna be a whole
I
lot more
mean-
than you got left.
I think it would be, well, I think it probably could aid up this whole pot of
Yeah.
money.
$100,000 for a mile.
Yeah, but now, like I told you the other day, I do have this, the Connect All. And she sent me the same kind of map that you
Yep.
showed me.
Yep.
So it does show the people here. And then what they wanted me to do was to outline them in red, so I highlighted those sections for them.
Mhm.
So maybe they're gonna work on that. And I also put in a call to Starlink, Nate that was here, he told me he has it and he likes it.
Yeah.
So it's $120 a month for unlimited internet and $249 for the kit. They say it's a plug and play, you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
So they could get this, and it works through the trees, like if you're in the woods, it still works.
Where'd you get them numbers from?
I talked to them,
Yeah, who is it?
Starlink.
Starlink satellites.
I've talked to Starlink too, and it's $600 for the equipment, and they can change your rate any month they want to, so you don't, there is no contract. If it's $120 this month, and they want it to be $140 next month, it's $140.
Yeah, there is no, it did say that, no
There is no
contract.
contract with them at all, and
Cause I went online just to confirm
the
this.
guy, Steve Dool at the end of Parker Cross guy, he says he loves it, but they change the price of his monthly rate every time he turns around.
I wonder why. Cause that guy Nate that was here at the meeting, he told me he has it and he loves it. But I
You know
don't
who owns it, right?
Hmm?
I said, you know who owns it, right?
I'm biting my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there.
No, I didn't, no.
Elon Musk,
Oh, yeah, I did not know that, but.
and he
now
can
you
change the price
mention it.
anytime he wants.
Yeah, so that's why they give you all this really fancy high-speed internet, no matter how remote, it'll go on your boat.
It'll go anywhere. I
RV,
believe
yeah.
Terrell's have got it up by me.
Well,
They like it, it's just kind of expensive and they don't know what they're paying monthly.
I also called HughesNet, and that was very expensive.
I would not recommend using it.
No,
I've had bad experience with it.
Yeah, they're not bad.
I don't think the
Not
quality
very
is,
good, no,
from what I've heard, Starlink is way, way beyond
yeah.
HughesNet.
Very fast.
Yeah, but if your price can change all the time, you know, but the woman told me that, and it was on their website, that same dollar amount.
So, one of the things, and I can't remember if Kevin Lynch explicitly recommended this, but he may have alluded to it in my conversation with him. Because basically the rest of the town got kind of subsidized high-speed internet because there was grant money available to help defray the costs. And so we all got, for a couple of years, we got a reduced monthly rate, and there was no installation cost, I believe,
Oh,
I think.
no.
So what I'm getting at is what Kevin suggested is we could recommend to people on these roads that they get Starlink, and we could use the ARPA money to help defray that cost by paying the installation cost. They would have to pay their monthly fee, but we could pay them for the equipment for the installation cost. Problem is, I don't know how many people need it or
Right, or
would partake in
want
it.
Well,
Yeah,
I myself wouldn't take it, just because I can't afford it, but even with the help. I mean, it takes anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes for me to get a Craigslist page come up, but I can still get online. But as far as to pay my bills, there's not much of any type of protection on dial-up internet that, you know, your bank accounts, dial-up internet can one day be on and the next day they're saying we got hacked. I mean, so I do as little as possible other than looking county and town stuff up.
Yeah.
yeah,
I wouldn't wanna pay that, and once you get to the camp, I believe they're on Frontier high speed. The end of it, because
Are they really?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe LaPrairie told me that once about Frontier came in from Glen Creek Road
Really?
and they got it to the camp.
yeah, I think I heard that too. It came in from
Yeah.
up above,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Well, Frontier, the way we got white space, Frontier and their fiber optics to South Garnet Lake Road.
Yeah, right.
That's how we got, or the people that got it, white space, cause that was fiber optics that we paid Frontier for.
Yeah.
But I don't know, with Frontier coming around, are they thinking about coming down? Did
I
we
don't
go
know,
for
because-
that end, or?
Yeah, we did have that whole big packet of what Frontier was gonna do, and I don't know, that I haven't heard anything about them doing any of that.
Since switching to Starlink requires equipment fees of $349 to $2,500.
You just said $249.
Yeah, that's what the website says, plug and play, buy your solar panel, put it up, yeah.
I see
You have
used
to buy the
equipment
equipment.
on
Yes.
Craigslist and it's never $249.
You do have
$249 is pretty cheap.
to buy the equipment.
You do.
How much does home
Unfortunately-
equipment cost?
Unfortunately, we don't know how many residents on those roads would partake of it, so
Yeah.
we don't even have the ability to come up with a number of how much money we would spend on it. So I don't see how we can do it at this late date without time to figure that. I mean, basically what we would need to do is survey the residents on that road, see how many people want it and would be willing to partake of it to determine whether or not it's even financially viable.
I'd say 3 on Dippy,
Yeah.
maybe 4.
I know there were several people on Sky High Road that were clamoring for it a couple of years ago, but we put it on hold because this state and the federal government was supposed to come out with grant funding and stuff to be able to do this. And when I talked to Brian Lynch, he said there is stuff, but they've made it so hard to comply and it's so costly and difficult. Slick's not even doing it.
But why didn't the county ask for some of that grant money that Hochul just gave out? I mean, she gave out $140-some million.
Yeah, is that part of what they, is that part of this, what they gave me, to connect all?
Is that a state
Warren
program?
County didn't apply for any of it.
It says we have teamed up with the state's Connect All office to complete a cell availability study for our 5-county region.
Who's that from?
This is from Beth Gills,
Oh, she's with the,
Lake George
yeah,
Regional Planning Board.
right.
She told me to click on the link and report no cell service areas. And, so I did that.
Cell
they just
cell service is totally different than high-speed internet. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody that gets broke down in a no cell service area, I myself would rather see cell service than high speed.
I use my cell to get on the internet, so I,
Anyone that comes to my house, as soon as they turn Parker Cross,
it's gone.
it's gone. They're
Yeah.
saying, how do I get out of here? Well, same way you just came in. I haven't got my telephone and it's not showing me how to get out of here.
I bring copies of that little map that's out there and get that out to people because it's a good map.
I think the internet's a waste of trying to spend your money before you need to.
And they make it easy to do it too.
Are we gonna be able to have clothing?
Sure. Hey, do you have any ideas what you want us to spend ARPA money on?
I didn't know you were having a special meeting, so.
They're in at 6, so I don't know. We have what, 23,588.51? That's what I come up with now. We gotta spend it. What do you guys wanna do?
Well, the highway garage is gonna have a generator, right?
Yeah? Yeah.
We could use it to spend money on the generator for the highway garage.
Okay. That's good.
I don't know what it would cost, but
You'd have to get one big enough to run the garage, right?
Yeah,
So you're
Well,
talking.
what do they have now? Well, it's a smaller garage,
Yeah.
but what do they have now, do you know?
I don't remember the size, but that doesn't run a lot, they can't run their well.
Oh, they
should be
You're
able
gonna
to
need 25,000, 40,000.
bigger,
yeah,
something large enough where they can
40,000
run,
BTU.
well,
you wanna, yeah,
and machinery to
The big-
repair hoses and stuff, they take a lot of energy, like use.
Maybe Cynthia can look that up.
What's that?
The price of a 40,000 BTU generator.
you can't look it up unless you know what size you're gonna put in, so,
You need to know what you're gonna run off of before you determine the
Well-
size.
Do you have any idea on it? Because we can put something toward it, and if it's not enough, we can do it with the other money.
what are we putting in up there for fuel tanks?
Propane or?
I think they.
No, I mean for the trucks and equipment.
He's
Yeah, like
moving
the
that
tanks.
tank. He's moving the tank that we set up.
How old's that tank?
I painted that in 2012.
That's a 1,000-gallon tank?
No, it's a 2,000 gallon tank. 1,800 capacity. It's- Yep. We had to put it in the container, in the box.
Well, if it's revenue recovery, can we use it to knock down some of them engineering costs we had? You know, where we, didn't have any money at the time, so we're gonna get reimbursed from the grant, from the loan.
Are you running a lot at the garage off of propane?
For heat?
The new garage.
Yeah, the new
Propane.
garage would be
New would
propane.
be propane.
The one advantage of doing it, what Deb said, putting it towards the engineering fees, we know the engineering fee is gonna be way more than the 23,000 we've got left. So that
Oh,
would
yeah.
take up all of it. And you
More than that, yeah.
And the thing is, all these things that we're talking about, it doesn't matter which one you direct it at. If you spend the money on engineering fees, you still have to buy a generator. If you spend on a generator, you still have to pay engineering fees.
Mm.
It's all fungible.
Yeah,
So,
well, our engineering costs are over that in the negative now anyway, you know, I mean, as far as for the garage. what we've
are we
spent.
gonna have 23,000 more in engineering fees from now forward?
I don't think so, we're getting close to the maximum he can charge us, that's on that sheet, the 116,000, we're close to that.
Can we use this for something we've already incurred the cost on?
That I don't know.
I got a feeling.
Well, it's
we can.
revenue recovery, we can use it on anything,
Okay,
so,
if we can, I would say we put it towards the engineering fees. I mean, the only risk is if something happens and we don't build the highway garage. Have we worked out the financing on that yet?
no. No. But I think things are coming down, rates are coming down.
I think it's the term that's killing us, it's not the rates.
Well, that's another problem, but like the two things that you sent me that I gotta follow up on after I get this new year started here. Bank, as a bigger bank, Bank of America, it's a much bigger bank than ours, we'll only do a 10-year, and I think we'll have a better chance after the new year.
If we can do it, I would say appropriate it towards engineering costs for the highway garage.
Okay.
And I would say the remaining balance after we,
Need a resolution to that?
Yeah,
can we leave it that vague? Or do we need a dollar amount?
I think we need the dollar amount, yeah.
So the dollar amount I have is 23,788.51.
23,000,
788.51.
so appropriate remaining,
So I'll propose a resolution to appropriate the balance of ARPA funding in the amount of $23,788.51.
wait, appropriate remaining, no, I started to write that before you said.
Yep. So I'm making a resolution to appropriate the remaining balance
Balance, that's what I'm missing,
of ARPA funding
of 23,000, blah, blah, blah.
788.51
To,
for
or,
engineering costs associated with
associated with new highway garage?
design of the new highway garage.
I'm still gonna ask Matt about the tax paying online though, I'm interested in finding out. what that
If you
is.
wanna do that, I mean, just subtract it out of that 23,000 and we'll just modify that number.
Okay,
I'll second you.
yeah, 'cause that's a good idea to
Ed
have.
seconded the resolution.
Okay, so Randy, and then that is second. Okay.
Perfect.
Alright.
Got it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Doug's not here, you're gonna have to step in, okay.
With these numbers that you had, the well at the youth building, was that added in or taken out?
No, you.
That's out.
That's out. We took that
Completely out.
I didn't, I knew you were talking about that.
Yeah, it does seem like a, and anyway, we can't even be sure we could get clean water up there, we might get salt water up there, so it's kinda.
If you get salt water, it's coming out of the same well.
To adjourn.
Oh, you mean if you
Yeah,
had your own?
if we have a real one, yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay, I made the motion, Randy second.
Right, you done? Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, nice of you, I went late.
Alrighty.
Have a happy new year, guys.
Yeah, I will. Good night, Cynthia.
Bye.
So where were we running to? What were we, who?
Kitten Kin,
Huh?
Kitten Kin, we have Amy and Lou's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
I go there
I got
about
it.
5 or 6 days a week now.
Okay. Good night, Randy, Dad.
Take
I'm
care.
gonna let them know they can come in.
Yeah.
When you got up and walked over there, all I could think was, my God, your grandson looks just like you. Just like you, and he walked like you, and he did still like you, and his grandson is so cute. Oh, God. And I think he got, I think I think he's real smart